Jordan. Number 3, Sam Gotch. Number 14, Kat Cressy. Number 16, Hadley Twitchout, sorry. Number 17, Thea Traw. Number 20, Dylan Baker. Number 21, Ashlyn Pegg. Number 24, Piper Dean. Number 26, Claire Burberry. Number 28, Lauren Caldwell. And number 99, Avery Trapp. Now your starters for the Hornets. Number 0, Jess Forbes. Number 4, Eleanor Andrews. Number 6, Mayani Sonera. Number 7, Mia Kreitz. Number 8, Kate Flahorst. Number 10, Sydney Hageman. Number 13, Ella Bernice. Number 17, Lucy Cripe. Number 19, Izzy Castell. Number 20, Ruby Hogan. Number 22, Ani Schnell. Carleton's coached by Jessica Mueller, and your Hornets are coached by Jill Leaford.
Wait, how do you say it?
Sometimes you gotta make a decision.
I think Max was saying Evan's name. I was being told game. He's saying what?
I believe it's good.
I've heard him in like class at high school.
No anthem? No national anthem? Okay.
Oh.
Now I'm going to turn these down just a bit. That's time. There we go.
Hey folks, good evening and thanks so much for tuning in. It's the second leg of the doubleheader tonight here for Kalamazoo Women's Soccer, live from Mackenzie Field on the campus of Kalamazoo College. I'm Tanner White and joined by a special guest today. Thanks so much for joining me, Harper.
Yeah, it's so great to be here. An exciting game, lots of energy surrounding it.
And you missed a fantastic one if you didn't tune into the men's game before us. Ended up 1-1 even in that final equalizer, roughly around the 83rd minute as I walked in. Kalamazoo held that lead much of that first match. Just about ready to kick off here, slightly past that scheduled 7 p.m. time, but that earlier game delayed a little bit with the rain. The ball's placed on that Hornet logo. I think it's about time to kick off. And that we will. 7:09 local time here in the zoo, underway. Kalamazoo and these visiting Carleton College Knights, all the way in from Northfield, Minnesota. Long trip for them. Kalamazoo squad, 8-6-3 overall last season, 5-2-1 in the MIAA, and yet the first round exit from Trine. Some people get hung up on it. It was an absolute heartbreaker. 89th minute, in fact, I believe 90th minute score with roughly 3 seconds left in regulation in that game as it ended. Got to turn that page each and every year. And I talked to you a little bit before we went on air. The turnover of head coaches as a first collegiate save in goal for the freshman keeper, Jess Forbes. Congratulations to her. We talked a little bit about on air before we went on of the change in the head coaches. How difficult is that, do you think, for all of these different programs having to deal with that at once?
I think it's definitely a big change. You know, I mean, girls are used to a certain coaching style. So coming in, I know there was a lot of great chemistry between the girls and their coach. So I'm hoping that we'll see that out in the field today.
Yeah, Kalamazoo's head coach Brian Goings from last year being replaced this year by first-year Jill Liebforth. Going to look to lead what was already one of the top MIAA squads. Kalamazoo with the finish, we're able to, in fact, host that first-round playoff game and just unceremoniously bounced by Trine in that first round. Got to have that in the backs of their minds. Played well at home all last season, 5-1-2 in their home matches, 3-5-1 on the road. After the one stop, it's been Carleton doing most of the attacking so far, just over 2 minutes past here on the MAC. First toss in coming in from Kalamazoo. And just do it all over again for good measure. This Carleton team was really among the top teams in the nation last year. You want to give us a couple of the numbers on them?
Yeah, this Carleton team last year was 16-3-2 overall. They even made it to the MIAC finals, just not quite making it in that final game. And they were able to make it to the NCAA tournament after at-large bid, and they were out first round, but making it to that tournament still is really great.
And even tougher to do as you're not able to get it from winning your conference championship. Great defense on the corner. Corner defense held up on that first corner attempt. And now no more danger. Kalamazoo yet to spend appreciable time attacking. Love to see that script flip as quick as you can.
We've seen some great defending here by Ani Schnell so far.
And Ani Schnell is one of these that I love to talk about, a rare breed of a multi-sport athlete. And somebody that excels in both, also one of the absolute best swimmers Kalamazoo has to offer. And just every single year you find soccer players that can do something else, that are starring somewhere else, and very impressive. Over 4 minutes gone by here on the MAC. The one shot on goal to the freshman keeper, Jess Forbes, and made her first stop as well with the non-conference season. We thought we might see that. Number of younger nets getting on the field. And Alana Mitchell started all 17 last year. In fact, the most difficult and the most surprising stat, every single minute in goal last season. And locked it down quite well with 6 shutouts. Good drop back to the Hornets' defensive midfield and a little foul. Yanni Sonera took the brunt and Hornets back the other way. I heard that the goal for Kalamazoo in the men's game, the first game, was from Jaden Beist. Wasn't able to see it myself. As we mentioned, that game 1-1. Still spending almost no time attacking. Very quick giveaway. Haven't strung 2 passes together yet practically. Slow starts, nothing new really on both sides of the soccer programs, but a lot of fireworks late in matches. Both teams notorious for that. Could see the coaching staff miming over there. I think that the toss in was coming.
Yeah.
what you love about our angle as close as we sit. You get to see certain things that if you were much wider out, zoomed on the camera lens and things, you would miss it.
Yeah.
And beyond that, just a privilege to be out here each and every night, whether it's the MAC. Of course, you know I love Angel, football field over behind us, baseball, softball, you name it. Fall colors starting to creep in a little bit behind us as well. Not quite there yet. I know some of us don't even want to hear that word, fall, but such is reality. See if these Knights can make a little run. And another little shove. This time Ellie Andrews draws the foul. Andrews, a junior defender out of Chicago, Illinois, and DePaul Prep. That men's soccer match earlier, again, finished in the 1-1 versus Illinois Wesleyan, the Titans. And it made for a very packed house. Just with everybody pulling up, the parking was difficult as always. If you've been here, you know the field house is crazy. Personally, though, I hope it is even crazier 1 week from tomorrow for the football season opener.
Yeah, that game is going to be absolutely packed. I know a lot of people are anticipating it.
Kalamazoo opening up with Austin, all the way from Austin, Texas. It's first time they've ever matched up with them. Typically, it's been Oberlin. The last 6 years, Kalamazoo went undefeated, 6-0 in those Oberlin games. Little foot race down into the corner. Kalamazoo going to win it, come up with the possession. We're just over 8 minutes gone by. Haven't gotten to see the leg of the keeper Forbes yet. Love to track the punting yardage and the hang time and all that, just like football punting. Not sure what we would do with it, but I would like it. Give me stats all the time. It's just always something to talk about. We enter 10th minute. Still just a 1 shot on goal. No shots registered on the Kalamazoo side. Might they have a chance to make a run here? Ruby Hogan, another couple sports star, lays a pass up beautifully. Kate Clayhorse, and a beautiful tackle right back from 3, Sam Gotch. One promising possession. And taken away just as quick as it popped up. Schnell rolls a pass just too far off of Sydney Hageman. Oh, that flag gonna point Kalamazoo's way. A little bit of good news. Toss in there by Clayhorst. And just too far by everybody. In goal for the Knights. Hasn't been tested at all yet so far, but that's Avery Trapp, a sophomore keeper, goes 5'9", out of North Barrington, Illinois. I'm going to make the bold prediction that at some point she's forced to stop a shot. I hope so. Give me your best bold prediction for tonight. We're just over 10 minutes in.
I definitely think we're going to get a couple shots from Elle Burness. Oh, there she goes. She almost had possession. I think we're going to give each other a run for their money, but in the end, I think the Hornets will pull through.
I do love that you mentioned Elle Burness, the leading scorer for Kalamazoo last season. The skills are all there with the feet, of course, with the coordination, the striking ability. Beyond that, with Elle Burness, it's the sheer raw athleticism that I think is utterly uncommon. Truly a physical standout, and that just makes everything a little bit easier. You're playing at a different speed from the rest. Another corner kick should be coming. And keep thoughts of brick walls in your head. Be impenetrable. They don't call it a wall for no reason. No damage done on the last corner kick. Here comes a second. And just over the heads of everybody. You wonder who last touched it. Maybe Sonera, and I believe it was. That will stay down there. Lots of chances to attack, especially considering only the one shot on goal against. One giveaway deserves another. I believe you also mentioned women's volleyball was in action tonight away from home. Taking a quick glance at scores. Volleyball in their first match of the day. 1-3-1 at Oberlin. Speaking of Oberlin, our friends from Ohio. Are you going to call your shot with the Albernis first score?
I think so, yeah.
I love it.
I love it.
Absolutely. Take a stand and don't back down.
Yeah.
And it's a very good choice statistically speaking.
Yeah, I mean, last year leading scorer, 7 goals, so let's hope she gets one tonight.
Absolutely. First sub for Kalamazoo. They go 3 Maeve Nolan for 8 Clayhorst. That's 3 for 8 in white. And a little bit of a truck stick put on from Albernis herself. She'll get in the mix a little bit. Understandable, though. All those preseason jitters you've reported a while ago, you finally get somebody with an opposite color jersey. Those things can happen when the nerves are just high like that. A shot from way long range and just wide. I mean, you can't put it much closer.
I know, Forbes was right there if it would have been any closer. Doing really great for her first start of the season as a freshman.
I love the body language in goal. I don't know about you.
Yeah.
The bad news is one more corner kick coming. Good news, they've been wonderful at defending him so far. This will be 3 corners already in a little under 15 minutes. First couple have been too long. This might be a little too short. See if Kalamazoo can turn it around. Carleton going to drop back past the half. Still, though, they've spent a lot of time on the opposite side of that Hornet logo, and that's not changing on this possession. Yanni Sonera, good little rollback move over for Ruby Hogan. Tried to mention a couple of possessions ago, Ruby Hogan, also a star on the basketball team and a rare member that will start for 2 different teams. Had a number of games, in fact, last winter as the leading scorer for Kalamazoo basketball. Incredible. Plays the point, a difficult position, as you well know.
Yeah, last season she did really great for a freshman. She came in there not only playing well, but she also became a leader on the team too, which was really great to see.
And I love that you took it that direction. Maybe something that you don't hear enough about. You can't reduce a player to simply what's on a stat sheet. There's so much more. Kalamazoo yet to be whistled for a foul, yet to be whistled for a shot. A lot of cardio going on out there. It's a warm one, too, of all the days to do cardio. Sun finally going down, roughly about 76 degrees now here in the zoo. Good aggressive little bump from Ellie Andrews. Going to win her team possession. Free kick headed in moments here for Annie Schnell. Always a couple of different philosophies to this. Could try and lay it in there on a couple of hops. See if somebody wants to shoot from way long range. You can go low and essentially turn it into a pass. It's into a mass of bodies, but just glances the wrong way.
Kalamazoo able to retain possession on that.
Hogan, ready. Big high toss in. This could be some danger. And Hornets just appear to be caught offside. Now in my line of work, that's a 5-yard penalty and a repeat of down. Possibly a first down, in fact. You got to be careful. You have to ask yourself, am I worth 5 yards? In any case. Carleton looking to start another run. Kalamazoo, beautiful defensive midfield. Just impenetrable so far. Little shove right along that bench area. Don't think we saw the foul whistled. Let him play a little bit for non-conference perhaps. And subs coming up as well. We'll get that in a moment as we know him. As our lovely scorers bring it into us. Anna Burkowski for Claire Burberry, 11 for 26 in blue. On-ball defense again showing up, Ellie Andrews. Still though, lots of defending going on and essentially no attacking still. It's a tough way to win.
Yeah, the majority of this first half has been spent on the Hornet side.
Speeding towards that 25-minute mark with nary a shot. As we mentioned, slow starts, really nothing new, but it just always makes your heart beat a little bit quicker in that second half. Slide tackle attempts. Who last touched? Everybody's pointing at each other. And it will be one more corner coming up for the Knights. Win, lose, or draw here. Only one team's got to go all the way back to Northfield, Minnesota. Don't envy them whatsoever. And now very low, but you wonder if that might get loose in a scrum. Are we going to see one more corner kick? Didn't look like it, and they can breathe a little sigh of relief. 25-minute mark. 4 corners already put up. Kalamazoo yet to earn 1 on their side. Another substitution coming up for the Knights. You have 20, Dylan Baker heading off, and 18, Saheli Patel coming on. 18 for 20 in blue. Balls like that, it just looks like they're going to be trouble, and yet Kalamazoo's up to the task every time so far. As the senior fullback, Lucy Kripe, to knock the last one away. No real chances ever since, arguably, that first look, the shot on goal. Now, speaking of shots, as I'm going to tap you in for play-by-play a little bit, tell me who's taking the first shot for Kalamazoo. Tell me a little bit about the shot placement and what the result's going to be.
That's
it's a difficult assignment, I admit.
I don't know. I would say definitely could be L, but
One thing's for sure, not going to be on this possession. One more beautiful slide tackle, though, from Miani Sanera. Hogan with the eyes up. It's a good rollback move. Now from here, if we string a couple of passes together, maybe we can talk. Oh. Spoke too soon, and all credit to Carleton. They were absolutely ready to be blitzed. Now might we see Forbes get a chance to punt this one. To Kalamazoo's credit, haven't seen them really lose one of those foot races yet. On anything sort of 50-50.
Yeah, everyone's definitely matching the energy.
You knew the challenge you'd be up against. Shot wide. Maybe a fingertip on it from Forbes, tough to say. Another sub coming in for Kalamazoo. I believe we have 15 for 6. Maggie Westra for Miani Sanera. Something we haven't seen so far in this second match of the day, and I don't know that we will. Heard they had a little water break, quick stoppage in the first match, just exactly for that, for the hydration and for the safety. After one strong takeaway, Ellie Andrews got the eyes up, but a great double on ball, and it's loose again. You know who's not shaking loose so far? Kalamazoo on attack. Great hip pocket and a steal made Nolan. An area where you could have had a great cross. Believe you had 11, Anna Burkowski, kind of looking up that way from the right side of the field. And truly just so few chances, as well as it's been defended so far. Finally, a little chance to touch it. I don't want to say that goalkeepers could ever get bored. Surely you're trying to be locked in, but it's got to be difficult. Just having not faced a shot, and then whenever it comes, you've got to be ready for it.
Yeah, approaching the 20-minute mark in this game, and no shots yet for them.
Officially 26th minute now. Still, Kalamazoo whistled for no fouls. Clean. And tough to complain, but for the fact you'd love to say, at least we put a couple of shots up there and we made that keeper think. Lauren Caldwell over for Ashley High. Zariah Jordan. Jordan might have a little crease. Good string of passes. Probably a cross is blocked, but another corner kick coming. Volume on those going to start adding up. Believe they're sending Patel to take this one. Still no damage done, but can Kalamazoo just keep it long enough to get it all the way out of their own end? Looks like the answer might have been no, but a foul helped him out. Seen that a couple of times in those clearing situations. That's 4 fouls all on Carleton so far. Nice little play made down at the table there, coaching staff. Gave us a little toss back in. Burness looking to pressure the ball. Nobody else home out of the forwards. Now you see a bit of a double on ball. That idea could help. Thea Traw, a couple of touches, should have been last off of her. Into touch, here comes the Nets. Hogan toss into a bunch of traffic. And it just doesn't get easier. Love to see that time of possession stat. Again, if we could get it. Kalamazoo's able to turn it around and just get the briefest moments of respite, and then comes right back at him, suffocating. Draw Caldwell for Sam Gotch. And a little slip from Izzy Castle. Again, you have people pointing both ways, but should be Carleton ball still. Throw in coming near that corner. Shouldn't have said that word, corner. This is going to be the 6th all in the first half. 6 corner kicks, yet really no great shot looks to come off of them so far.
Great block there by Ani Schnell.
And it did end up a little bit closer, but just haven't run the set pieces that they'd like to yet. Going with the sort of quantity over quality approach. At some point, the numbers suggest you'll probably get one. The last corner kick was by Twitchell. We play in the 31st minute. We're scoreless. Kalamazoo Hornets, Carleton Knights. Still yet to put up a shot on the Kalamazoo side. Clean in many ways, as we mentioned, from Kalamazoo. Ball denial looks great, but at some point, gotta score to win. I can't recall a single time Kalamazoo's been able to put up a cross to get a scoring chance. Izzy Castle to the deck. Schnell tied up the ball as well, and alertly booted it off of Sam Gotch. Again, these are just some of the only times that you get to breathe as often as Carleton has been attacking. 24 for 10. That's Mia Pascuzzi for Hageman for Kalamazoo. This ball could be trouble. Hogan defensively recognized that as soon as it passed that first wave of defenders. Ball still alive down in that far corner. Off of Schnell, and we'll reload it. Hogan looked like she may have forced that little turnover, or are they saying corner kick one more time? Oh, goodness, that's 7 of them piled up now. My apologies, no corner kick. We lose it just the same way as the camera feed sometimes. It has its heads down into the furthest corner from us. You impressed by this crowd, especially with school not quite starting yet?
Yeah, there's a lot of people, a lot of fall athletes here as well. It's really great to see everyone show up for each other.
I agree, that's always one of my favorite things. All of your ball runners, all of your staff working around at the gates and things, typically other fall athletes. Andrew's little takeaway, trying to throw it the right direction. And it does come down sometimes to just, where is Albernis? Let me toss it somewhere in her vicinity. Becomes a foot race, and sometimes you win them. Bernis pass a little bit shy of the target. Three-quarters of the way through one half, if you will. Do the math on that, but roughly 3/8 of the way. See if Bernis can settle this. Could have had the keeper to beat. Now she'll look to maybe set up a cross. It's off of Theatraw. Hogan lining up that throw in. Andrews now to turn it the right way. Somebody's going to crack this scoreboard, I promise. If not, you didn't hear it from me. It's going to be a long run to settle that before it heads to that corner. This should help the scoring chance at least. Piper Dean had to make the business decision. Ruby Hogan to throw in one more time. "36th minute here in Kalamazoo. Carleton might have some numbers. This could be trouble. And a great choice. Forbes eats it for any more shenanigans. Nobody home. No man's land. Still, Avery Trapp not forced to stop a shot yet. Not even necessarily asking for one on cage now, just a shot. The more your shooting volume goes up, the better you can eventually find the back of the net somehow. Better looking setup for Kalamazoo here on this trip down the field. Ball was laid up nicely to Hogan as she's collided with, and nothing there with Hadley Twitchell. Would have been close to the area of a penalty kick as well. Probably 5-10 yards outside the box though, not quite enough. Kalamazoo 3 for 3 on the penalty kicks last year, all by Anna Murphy, including one game winner. Murphy, a graduated senior from an outstanding, talented class. Included Olivia DePauli last year, the Kalamazoo second leading scorer. DePauli as primarily a defender with 4 goals of her own, primarily in corner kick situations, as you might imagine. And Anna Murphy, 3 goals and 2 assists herself. That penalty kick specialist role is critical. You've got to take advantage of every one. And as you mentioned, they went 3 out of 3 for last year. Number of substitutions came at that stoppage. We had 2 for Carleton, Eliza Barton for Sam Gotch, and Lauren Arzaeus for Hadley Twitchell rather. Kalamazoo 11 for 7 and 21 for 13 as Alberna's going to take a little seat, likely for just the rest of this half, and we'll be back for the start of the second. Gonna be a foot race. Maeve Nolan was the one that may have had a chance. It's not quite there in time. We play in the 38th minute, nearly the 39th. Scoreless, 3 shots, that's all. The one on goal was the first shot and stopped by Jess Forbes, the Kalamazoo freshman keeper. Hogan trying to put a header in the right direction. Schnell the same. A promising looking chance. Savannah Norman pickpocketed. One ball like that with a nice cross up to somebody on that left side. The opportunities are going to open up. That time it was Callie Bear on the opposite side who may have had a chance. Speaking of, a Bear got a long run. And another business decision. I think you had a defender for Carleton there trying to signal that that was last off of Kalamazoo. No dice. Always worth trying to sell it, though. Now under 5 minutes, Alberna's getting a blow. What's it going to take to crack that scoreboard? Wish I had the answers. Flag points the Kalamazoo way. Kalamazoo last season didn't have quite this much of an issue typically, starting slow. And the scoring really respectable. 28 scores in the 17 matches out. That's about 1.6. 23 assists, by the way, on those 28 scores, and 3 of those were PKs. 2 unassisted non-PK scores the entire season. Got to have a goal to have an assist, though. That's the difficulty. Norman again trying to run it down. Shielded off well with the body from 24 Piper Dean and harmlessly collected. Avery Trapp, first time she gets a drop kick, and a beauty. Past that Hornet logo, past the half. Just 3 minutes between us and the end of a scoreless half. You gotta be careful about saying that before it happens. You know what's going to happen next time. I immediately regretted the decision. If you could call your shot among the Kalamazoo forwards with Burness off the field and you wanted to pick a first goal scorer, who do you want? It is a difficult choice still. Just haven't seen anyone controlling it long enough in that attacking zone. That ball was a little bit too far in front of Lauren Arzeas. Likely could have turned into their best scoring chance. But chances are just going to be few and far between. We've already seen it. Kalamazoo averaged almost 7 shots on goal a game last year. Their shooting volume was over 11 shots a game. This is surprising even by that standard. It does demonstrate that they're taking on one of the most talented programs in the nation. 75 seconds or so to take this off a free kick and net one. Ani Schnell up with that right hand. Can something just bounce the right way? Still, Kalamazoo going to be able to retain possession. Just spend a little bit of time attacking here, rather. Under 45 seconds. Whistle and the first foul to go on Kalamazoo should be. And that'll likely end that dream of them scoring here for half number one. Under 20 seconds, that's outright by the Kalamazoo bench. Very quick throw in. Carleton would need a speed run and shield your eyes from the possible embellishments. No foul called down there, and that'll be plenty enough to run out half number one. I think I'm running out of the defensive superlatives. Can you give me some I haven't thought of?
I'm not sure. Yeah, we've been playing a lot of defense this half. I'd like to see the next a little bit more offense play, especially from Maggie Westra. She's been really aggressive this first half. See if she can make something happen.
Even 1 or 2 corner kick opportunities, you'd probably feel a lot closer that, hey, we've got a chance to get a chance.
Yeah.
That is an opportunity to get one decent scoring look, put 1 or 2 shots on goal. It's not going to take much likely, but that's just how tight the margins are on this one. We started just a little bit late, about 7:10, and likely end a little bit late, but hey, thank you for sticking with us, especially if you're here for the entire doubleheader. No score, as we mentioned, through the first half. A brief glance back at the stats. For what purpose, I'm not entirely sure, but you've got 3 shots, 1 on goal, 7 corner kicks, 4 fouls on Carleton so far. Kalamazoo side, donuts, a bunch of zeros stacked up, maybe think snowmen all standing on top of each other, but that's just the level of competition that we're seeing here for non-conference play, and I'm all about it. We'll be back in a couple of minutes for the start of half number 2 here between the Kalamazoo Hornets and the Carleton Knights here on the MAC for the season opener for Kalamazoo women's soccer. And we are back for half number 2. Kalamazoo and the Carleton Knights here for the opener for Kalamazoo women's soccer. The second leg of the doubleheader, if you will. It's been a tight one, to say the absolute least. That is putting it very, very softly. Go ahead, Harper. Give us a couple of the team stats, as much as they're relevant in such a defensive-minded contest.
Yeah, I mean, no goals yet so far this game, but we had 3 shots from Carleton. One of those was on goal. And in that same realm, they've been able to have 7 corners, which is quite a lot for a first half, I'd say. And 4 fouls from them, none yet so far from Kalamazoo, so we'll see where that comes in the second half.
Absolutely, the no fouls, very cleanly played game for Kalamazoo. No corners either. The offensive chances just not there yet. El Burness awaits in that Hornets circle. 8:09 p.m. as we start half number 2. A top-ranked program for most of last year. Found themselves even in the top 25, did Carleton. 16-2-3 record, I believe. Scratch that, 16-3-2. They absolutely ran their conference as well in the MIAC. Undefeated, just the 2 draws, 9-0-2. Also wanted to get a little bit more of a chance to talk about Jess Forbes and what she's done in goal so far. It's really difficult to come in cold, even more so in your first career start, and the expectations that Alana Mitchell set last year in goal.
Yeah, Alana last year did really great. She played every minute in goal. She was able to have 16 shutouts of her 17 starts, which was really amazing to see from her stepping up into that role.
It was her first year as the full-time starting keeper. And presumably as soon as we get to conference play, and possibly before then, we'll lock it down again. But really impressed by what we've seen from Jess Forbes so far. Looks like Andrew's going to tap this one back to the keeper, and a good choice. Also love that number 0 on the keepers. Even the 00 is just a fantastic number. Don't get to see that in too many other sports. Kalamazoo went back to the starters, as you often see, to begin this second half. Although I believe with one change, Maeve Nolan inserted. Flag still pointing down into that left-hand corner, staying with Kalamazoo. And this is one of the longest attacking possessions we've seen. It's not saying a whole lot, but it's what you've got.
Yeah, I'd love to know what Coach Lebford said in that second half to get them all riled up, to give them that long of a possession.
I've heard both sides of it, and I'm never sure. Some people say you make tons of adjustments and scheme is the only thing. Some people say it's just about playing harder, who wants it more, and you don't have to change a thing at all. I think that comes down maybe to individual coaches' philosophies, but I've never known what the right answer is. This could be a lot of trouble with the one-on-one. And 1-0. It took quite a while to get there, but finally Carleton gonna break through first.
Kathleen Cressy with that goal there. It's pretty wide open for her to be able to get that in there, but Jess Forbes did a really great job trying to stop it.
Forbes closed space down. In the end, just nobody home. The quickest of lapses will get you beat. It was exactly the same way in that first round tournament exit last year. The score with the 3 seconds remaining to Trine, 90th minute score. Sent Kalamazoo home after, as we mentioned, earning that home playoff game, which doesn't happen all too often. Even from a successful program, it's just a fantastic all-around competition in the MIAA. Cressy from Simonek, officially 49th minute. Catherine Cressy from Chloe Simonek. Now Kalamazoo finds themselves in a position of needing the equalizer. Albernis, good choice for it. Great job to lay it up. Were they caught? Hand in the cookie jar. And just a little bit too far ahead. Absolutely the right kind of look, though. Cressy put up an absolute number last year. 26 points on 9 goals and 8 assists. A huge number with 8 game winners. That's almost unheard of. 9 scores and 8 of them won the match. Talk about your efficiency. To Kalamazoo's credit, they've been very good at not giving it away in their own half. No luck this time. And now a lot more pressure could be put on. Another nice looking cross, just high on a header. Over Cressy, could have gotten back-to-backs. Cressy starting to be a problem. Put 52% of her shots on goal last year. Carleton, as a team, was good at that as well with over a 50% clip. Their goalkeeping, too, was even more fantastic. We got a chance to talk a little bit, you and I, at the half. Have some of those goalkeeping numbers for Avery Trapp from last year?
Yeah, she played in 14 games, and she was able to get a .58 goals allowed game average, which is insane by a goalie. Really great numbers.
To think, too, that wasn't the best mark on their own team. That's absolutely mind-boggling. They played a couple of keepers. Their other one, Ezra Kucher, in 8 games played, just 3 goals allowed. That's a .41 rather. Shot right in the chest, saved comfortably. Second save for Forbes. Zariah Jordan. A team .52 goals against average is just stunning. That's how they ran the table in their conference. As we mentioned, 9-0-2. No losses in conference play.
Yeah, they're going to be continuing this weekend with a little more out-of-conference play, doing some MIAA action against Albion and Hope this weekend, too.
That Dutch program just seemingly every year in the mix for that #1 spot, hosting the tournament and you name it. Then, of course, those winners of the conference championships get bids for the national championship automatically. I love Andrews getting on the back there and absolutely denying a cross. It's the last thing you need to see after that last really good-looking cross just over the head of Cressy. Toss in ready with Hogan. Hugging that sideline, Burness. Now Sonero, great little back heel. Burness wanted the cross, and it was sniffed out. Hogan trying to turn it the right way again and is decked. Hogan is rocked plus no foul. Curious. And maybe you go and get it back in blood, perhaps. Sometimes there's embellishment in contact. You're not on that play. Though I've never met an athlete who would admit as much. Last Kalamazoo substitution was Westra for Hageman, 15 for 10 in white. Again, we want to thank our lovely scorers, doing our best to keep us updated. If you're not careful, you can almost sound as if you know what you're talking about. The score, 49th minute by Carleton's Catherine Cressy, rather. Assist from Chloe Simonik. Good news is 35 minutes remain in front of Kalamazoo to get one back. And from there, who knows? A shot from way long range, save. Forbes locking it up. I wonder how crucial that is, the first save after a score against you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely crucial to keep the motivation going, I'd say.
At some point, Kalamazoo still got to get a shot up somewhere, somehow. But they've responded reasonably well after that first score. A couple of saves from Forbes and a couple of good-looking trips down the other way. I really don't pity Coach Liebforth at all with such a difficult non-conference schedule right off of the rip. This is sight unseen taking over this team essentially. Now, been here, of course, for a few months, but your team is just reported likely over a week ago and instantly thrust into a game against one of the most talented programs in the nation.
Yeah, and there's a couple new faces as well that aren't freshmen, a couple of juniors, which is really great to see too. Hoping to see that they'll be a great addition to the team.
Good decision from Forbes to cut that off. Not playing it too tight. Space, the name of the game. Last shot on goal was by Twitchell. Kalamazoo still not whistled for a foul. There's tons of positives that you can take from a game here where you're trailing 1-0. That doesn't always happen. Largely not on the attacking end, but such is life. Still the difficulty in stringing passes together evident. This should help.
Great stop by Mia Kreitz there. Able to keep the possession down here for a moment more.
Andrews deflects the pass a little. See if that gives Schnell enough time to run it down. Looks like it'll be the last off of Schnell, most likely. And a wave of subs all coming in and out, and we'll get them all to you. I believe you had 3 and 2, 3 for Kalamazoo and 2 for Carleton, likely. Corner kick should be coming. This will be 8 corners to none. Unusual. And up and over everybody, no harm done. As we've got all the substitutions rolling in, Kalamazoo officially goes Clayhorst for Burness, Savannah Norman for Hageman, and Aber for Kreitz. With Carleton, Mia Anzalone for Ashlyn Hay, 23 for 21, and Charlie Draheim for Zariah Jordan, 7 for 2.
Great aggression there by Ruby Hogan, trying to keep the possession by Carleton down as much as they can to give themselves a better opportunity to score.
And little hand check onto Sanera, foul called. That helps a bit. At least with a free kick, you know you can get it going the right way. See if anybody's there to scoop up that trash. Now you got lots of numbers. Yeah, maybe too many. I think that was too good to be true. Second time Kalamazoo's caught offside. And could have probably called it on 2 or 3 different members there. But hearts are certainly in the right place. Seven different members of the Carleton lineup from last year recorded double-digit points as well. Just positively explosive, fantastic goalkeeping. You've got to do both at the absolute highest level to make it to that NCAA tournament like they did. And even so, there's levels to it as they took a first-round exit in that tournament.
Great opener for Kalamazoo too. I mean, this level of defense they're experiencing will be great for them to help with their chemistry in the offense for the upcoming season, playing such a difficult team like this.
Yeah, I think we're already warm. We can bring on the Calvins and the Hopes. Skip that rest of the non-conference. Stay healthy before you get there. That's absolutely imperative, and of course, it's something that we've seen multiple times in the last couple of seasons. Just critical injuries. And it affects who you're going to have out there each and every night.
Carleton making their way down the field now. But it looks like Forbes is going to get there before them.
Forbes with the 1 score allowed, but still has not looked outmatched whatsoever from one of the most fabulous attacking offenses probably in the country. Tough to say it through just over 60 minutes of play, but numbers from last year and a lot of returners suggests that's the case. The foot race of foot races there, the whole 100-meter dash, and eventually they just run out of gas. As well as grass, I suppose. Don't say that 5 times fast. That could be problematic. Last touch, Dylan Baker. Throw in for Hogan. Can somebody settle it for Kalamazoo? Turn it the right way. Perhaps Andrews. Pass in just a bit too much traffic. It was a little breath of relief there. That ball spending some reasonable time down in the Carleton end. And it'll head right back. Just a little bit too long for Callie Bear. Cressy recorded 16 out of the 26 points from last year in conference play as well. Just by any measure, some of the most impactful stat lines from Catherine Cressy. Had the one score in the 49th minute here, and it stood so far.
Great defense by Kalamazoo.
And ouch. Another one you can't really embellish. The foul fully earned right there. Softer little shoving match this time along that line, but last touch. Oh no, not out of touch there. Let's Carleton make a run perhaps. And a big collision.
Great stop there by Lucy Kripe.
Kripe, a four-year contributor, and been a starter for a good chunk of that time. One of the more unheralded on the Kalamazoo defense, but really an outstanding one. That scoreboard still shows exactly what you need to know. 1-0, the one score, 49th minute. Catherine Cressy has stood the whole way. Kalamazoo officially not with a shot registered, believe it or not. Another round of subs coming in a moment. Sun all but fully down. Gives us some really cool clouds just beyond the stadium. Here we play 69th minute. Ali Kemery for Miani Sanera, Westra for Norman, Burness for Clayhorst.
Great to see Ali Kemery in the game. Her and Ani Schnell played together in high school, so hopefully we'll be able to see their magic work again at the college level. Great save there by Forbes.
that's something I can speak to as well. I was fortunate enough to have one high school teammate that followed me here, Austin Bresnahan, and had his time on the coaching staff as well after we graduated. And absolutely it was special to have somebody with that deeper connection before you ever come in.
Yeah, absolute powerhouse in high school, so I expect this season to see something like that again.
Ball's into touch off the Knights. Kalamazoo wastes no time on the throw-ins, so they sense the urgency a bit. But how do you crack a seemingly impenetrable armor? Tough to say. You never know until you find something that works.
Kalamazoo been doing a great job this second half, putting on pressure, slowing down how fast Carleton is able to get down the field.
I fully agree. I think the only possession where you saw the lapse was the score.
Yeah.
But besides, not a clean look at any point in that second half. And many more of them, at least, in the first. Andrews does a great job shielding off, wins possession back, now throws in. Just before that next throw in, looks like Kalamazoo subbing 1 and 3 on and off for the Knights. I'm not kidding. No matter the outcome of this game, that is going to be a long ride back to Northfield, Minnesota. They do always say it's a little bit easier if you're celebrating that win. Kalamazoo's got 19 minutes and, well, just under that in order to make a change.
Carleton throwing it in, but Hornets able to get possession again for a moment.
Andrews takes a seat as she stumbled back, made a little bit of contact with Dylan Baker, and I think I also heard somebody in the crowd say, hey, how about a foul down there? That's another interaction that we get being so close here, really hearing very clearly. Now, that can be a good or a bad thing, of course, but very, very intimate with the crowd.
Yeah, and still no fouls from the Kalamazoo side. And we've got 6 from Carleton.
Speaks to the defensive prowess that they've shown. Just that ability to play without fouling and still lock it up.
And I may have spoke too soon. We have a card.
Now we'll find out.
That's a yellow card on Ani Schnell, but we'll let you know for sure. Oh, yellow card on Savannah Norman.
Comes out 73rd minute here, as tempers often come out as well in this kind of situation. It's understandable. One cart never hurt, especially if it's yellow.
Yeah, I expect to see a lot more aggression probably coming up in these next few minutes from Kalamazoo, trying to at least get one more point up on the board.
Little two-man game. It's a long run down to that corner and just not quite able to catch up from a bear. If she's able to turn that thing the other way, go for a cross, maybe bodies are there. Maybe some deflection, something funny happens.
Got 2 more subs in for Carleton before this throw-in.
Flag keeps pointing the right way. Possession's going to be a huge chunk if Kalamazoo is able to eventually get the shots up that they need to crack that armor. You'd love to have some beautifully executed set piece just as you draw it up, but often you don't get that choice. Norman with the eyes forward, just wide. Side of the net and harmless.
Yeah, it was a great shot. Who are you looking for in this second half to try and get that tying goal?
I truly believe if Kalamazoo is going to get it, my first thought is still Albernis.
Yeah. A couple times in these throw-ins by Ruby, they've been all straight to her, which makes sense. Huge athletic build out there. And the talent to back it up.
If I had to give you a backup, give me Callie a bear.
Yeah, she's been great in this second half. I'm really enjoying seeing her play.
Started some of the long runs. She'll be the one to toss in here. Again, spoke too soon. Here comes Andrews. Baker and Andrews. Baker tried to start a run. And good business decision.
I didn't notice it.
Nearly up into the crowd. Just didn't quite get there. Thanks to our ball runners. And I think indication is another corner kick coming. Was close, but here it comes.
It's going to be the 8th corner kick for Carleton.
So Haley Patel ready to bring another. Knocked away, not sure if it's blocked or saved. But sometimes the mass of bodies just finds a way.
Yeah, that brick wall like you talked about before. Always glad it's there in situations like this.
Definitely going to call that the best look they've got all night on all of those corner attempts.
Shorter pass there by Forbes.
Gives you more room to work after it. I don't mind. Giveaway in the attacking half. Not quite what they're looking for. But it does give you another brief moment for a sub. Two for 7 for Carleton. That's Jordan for Draheim.
Oh my gosh.
We play here in the 78th minute. 1-0, your Carleton lead. The one score still holding up. 49th minute from Catherine Cressy. Assist from Chloe Simonek. Under 12 minutes for Kalamazoo to do the improbable in a extremely difficult schedule to open up at home with these Carleton Knights, one of the top programs in the nation. Up for grabs. Kalamazoo would do well to settle this and just get it headed the right direction. No luck yet. Ball's into touch, but last off of the Knights. That helps. We now enter 80th minute. Time running a little short.
Yeah, down in Sandusky, Ohio, our Kalamazoo Hornet volleyball team is also playing right now, Washington and Jefferson, winning 2 out of those 3 sets, hoping to get the 3rd one right now.
All right, lots of good news from volleyball then. That first win was 3-1, taking on Oberlin. Tournament play there, truly the purest form of volleyball. It's lovely. Another team that's undergoing a transition to a new head coach, Morgan Lemner coming in. And Coach Lemner already apparently got that team in mid-season form. You love to see that as well. You got to make it there first, there being conference play, but lots to be excited about already. Would have had a bit more to celebrate in the first leg of the doubleheader here tonight, but the equalizer in that 82nd minute from Illinois Wesleyan led to that game drawing 1-1. The team before us in the white, they would be thrilled to earn the draw here. 81st minute. And a cross denial, a big one as well. Still going to give Jordan a throw in.
Great save there, right there by Lucy Kripe.
Possibly a last round of substitutions. Looks like just one apiece. I believe Kalamazoo went Callie Abair coming on. Get him up here in just a moment, and it's Abair for Andrews, 11 for 4 in white. I told you if it couldn't be El Bernason, the equalizer, I wanted Callie Abair. Now you got the fresh legs.
Yeah.
Crazier things have absolutely happened.
Would love to see them work together too.
Do I get double credit if they combine? If you get one scoring, 1 assist?
Yeah, a little extra credit.
Of course. Then I can say I'm in mid-season form. .755 or so to go. Free kick coming, slicing left. Ball still up for grabs. Soft header. Still a dangerous situation. A bicycle kick try, why not? Could you imagine had Schur connected on that?
Yeah.
Lily Schur absolutely went for it.
A lot of bodies down there though. Not sure if the connected would still make it through, especially seeing Forbes has been doing really great.
I'm half tempted to say you deserve that score if you pull off that bicycle kick and even put it in the right direction. Absolutely one of the most truly riveting plays in all of sports, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Something we saw Kalamazoo men's player Michele Alia connect on once last year in one of the most stunning displays of shooting I've ever seen on this pitch. Michele, if you're watching, I have absolutely not forgotten.
Looks like a little confusion down there over who was getting to throw it in.
For what it's worth, if you manufacture a little bit of that, perhaps you burn a few more seconds. It's gamesmanship, and can't complain. Corner kick will be coming with under 6 minutes likely in regulation. Odds grow longer. Seen crazier things happen. The MSOE match last year, Milwaukee School of Engineering. Kalamazoo trailed 2-0 in that game. Fought back with an improbable header to tie from Maddie Kaufman.
Ninth corner kick from Carleton. Wasn't able to connect with anybody.
I believe they're going to repeat one more. Couldn't see exactly who the ball had gone off of, but it's headed toward the corner. And it appears they're going to send out Lauren Caldwell to take the corner this time. And they thought they'd go conservative on the entry with the corner, and yet they give it up.
Yeah, great steal and pass there, but there just wasn't anybody there yet to receive it.
Baker alertly was able to tap that off of a Hornet right along that sideline. '86th minute, odds growing ever longer still. Can't let that get in your head, although this whistle is going to go against Kalamazoo, make it just a bit more difficult. The one and only foul against them for the entire match so far that is borderline unbelievable. They did have the one yellow card, but again, the frustrations maybe peek through a little bit. Free kick from the left, and up with it, Forbes. No more danger, but you've really got to hurry and pick up your pace. Forbes pulled out the 6-iron. And still Kalamazoo not stringing the passes together. Now in danger themselves. Had that ball leaked all the way through to Sure. They're able to get the recovery there from Bear. And so the last round of subs was not the final, I should say. 3:30, that's all that's left on this clock. Kalamazoo looking for that one equalizer. Only takes one. Near that midfield stripe, possession still to Carleton. Looking to make that exceedingly long trip back, celebrating an opening win here in Kalamazoo. Will the Hornets have one last thing to say about it? They're able to stay onside as well. And this run, it's positive. And just earning themselves one corner kick could change the whole feel.
Yeah,
Not quite a corner.
Hornets have definitely given Carleton a run for their money on their beginning of their so-called MIAA tour they have coming up this weekend.
And you're seeing all of the best the MIAA has to offer. If that's exactly what their goal was, they made great choices in their scheduling. A sampler platter of an outstanding conference. Two minutes, no more. Red alert is on for Kalamazoo. Minute 40 or so. To predict a miracle feels a little bit pretentious. Doesn't mean I would ever think twice about it.
I mean, if there's any team that could do it, it's definitely the Hornets.
Funny things just happen every night out on the MAC. Something could still be in store with a minute 14 or so. Kalamazoo in absolute scramble mode. Can't give it away. Gotta string passes together. That's not gonna help. Anytime that ball is headed the opposite direction, it's gonna really slow you down. Under 1 minute. 90th minute. 1 to 2 more possessions, tough to say. And now for 40 seconds. Make it 30 and counting. As it's headed the wrong way, got maybe one chance. Throw up a long cross.
10, 9,
As it's knocked away by Jordan, that just might be enough.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hogan. Save. Time might have run out anyway. A suffocating defensive performance, truly on both sides, but obviously all the credit in the world deserves to go to these Carleton Knights. They finish allowing 2 shots, that one just as the buzzer went off there, the only one on goal for this entire match. Incredible on both sides.
Yeah, great first game for Coach Liebforth. Seeing those girls really being put to work and a lot of the chemistry being on the team was really great to see.
She will start her career here 0-1, but absolutely no shame. One of the top programs in the nation came in here to Kalamazoo and was given 90 minutes of an absolute knockdown, drag-out fight. In the end, Carleton, their one score holds up. It's 49th minute. Catherine Cressy adding to that game winner totals. She had 26 points last year, the leading scorer, and the one goal here stands up. Cressy from Simonek, 49th minute. Give us one last look at some of the final stats.
Yeah, from Carleton, they had 8 shots, and 4 of those were on goal, where Kalamazoo had 2 shots. 1 of those was being on goal. And Carleton with an outstanding 10 corners. They were able to have Kalamazoo not able to get any corners, but we did have 1 yellow card and only 1 foul towards the end of the game, going almost the entire time with none. And Carleton ended the game with 6 fouls.
Clean as you could ask for, but for the briefest little lapse for Kalamazoo to give up the 1 score, and it holds up. Still, we were absolutely treated. Thanks for everybody that stuck around, especially if you were here for the entire doubleheader with us. Had the rain delay in that first match with the men's, and they played to the 1-1 draw with Illinois Wesleyan. Here for game 2, these Carleton Knights improved to 2-0 on their season, and Kalamazoo drops to 0-1. Thanks so much, everybody, for joining us. I'm Tanner White.
And I'm Harper Schrader.
And everybody have a wonderful night.